Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. Another episode. We're actually, trying to use our time off, because sometimes it's, really hard to record. So we're basically killing, two birds with one stone. Two videos, one day, but it's gonna be definitely posted on a separate date.
Yeah. Don't think we don't shower. Don't think we don't change. Shit.
So yes, this is another episode, and we have a different subject to talk about today. And we're actually gonna start off with the Mexican logo. If you guys are aware of La Selección. Actually, I wasn't really aware of that, but my buddy here had mentioned it to me, and I googled it and found out, and I was like, in my opinion, it looks good. It needed an update.
Sorry, before you go. So this is it. I'll be posting it up too. You can hardly see it, but
Yeah.
that's it.
And I'll put the new one so they can see it. So the old one, I think it needed an update, to be honest.
Sorry, I don't know how to manage though. So this is the old one, as you can see. I know it's a little bit blurry. And then this is the new one. I'll be posting it up either way in two different slides.
Yeah, just talking about the logo itself, I like it personally. I like it. I think it needed some revamp. It needed something different. The times are changing. Logo needs to be changed. Like any other company. Even McDonald's has changed their logos over the years. Burger King, those restaurants, even like Target or even Coca-Cola I think it changed a couple times, or maybe Pepsi, right?
I think so.
So I mean, definitely, there's a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that do like it, but I forgot where I actually noticed. Actually saw a comment somewhere on either Facebook or Instagram, YouTube. I forgot. Anyways, but there was a comment that people said that, hey, that people from the selections should be worried more about playing better than worrying about changing their own logo or something, which was pretty funny but dumb at the same time.
Yeah. In my point of view, as I look at it right now, I think something that I do like about the old logo, it actually has the Aztec calendar. Aztec calendar is one of the biggest things that we have, and one of the reasons why Mexico has that eagle. And I guess I understand the old logo, but the new one looks more appealing, more like there's not too much going on. Like in the other one, it has a soccer ball, and then it has whatever it says on the sides. And the eagle, I'm not really a big fan of it because it looks like kind of like a cartoon eagle, and this one looks more like a scary type of eagle, you could say. So actually, I guess you cannot go wrong with either or. And like he said, the comment that said, I think that's the least worries we should have is actually figuring out what logos to wear or not. Mexico should be playing better soccer. That's supposed to be the best sport in Mexico, and that's supposed to be one of the biggest sports in Mexico. But unfortunately, it's not what we succeed in the sport as much as we should. Because as you can see, the U.S. has actually surpassed us on that. But overall, I like how they kept it more simple. It does say Mexico in the bigger font. And the eagle actually is pretty crazy, and I like how they kept the green, white, and red colors. So, I guess you cannot go wrong with either or. But if, like it is the new 20th century, and it's time for a new change, sometimes it's not always about the same thing. So who knows, maybe the new logo might help Mexico play better, So, so overall, I'm actually happy with that. I'm happy that they're starting somewhere to change, and at least you have to start somehow. So
I think it might even look better on a jersey, like the logo.
Yeah, that's what I was actually trying to picture,
Or on the back, or even here on the sleeves.
So, but talking about all this, TikTok and Mexico, there's a couple things that I've seen on TikTok actually. There's one thing that I saw. It was a video somebody posted. It talked about how kids shouldn't be supporting their parents, or like giving them money, or even sending money to Mexico for people that don't know. And when I mean supporting, it's not like supporting like, oh yeah, you could do it today, go to work. Say supporting like financially, what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I don't really, send money anywhere. In the sense that, the whole family, lives close by or whatever. But I do see that, us, Mexicans, and I don't know if, other Latinos, but, have that thing that they always want to help out their parents. A lot of people, you know what I mean? And, especially if their parents are in another country, and send them. My opinion, I guess, has changed over the years, just because I felt that, your parents, even if you didn't have like a good life or whatever, they still fed you, changed you, roof, what I mean, roof over your head and this and that. But at the end, it's like a cycle. If you think about it, you know what I mean. When you're a baby, you got the parent taking care of you. You know what I mean, because you can't do much when you're a baby. You're growing up, you're learning. But now it goes and changes. Now you're the adult. Your parents getting old. You gotta. I feel that you gotta be there. You gotta help them out, feed them. Giving them money, this and that, and the reason I say give them money is if they need money. But for the most part, it's better to, now that I'm getting a little bit older, I feel that it's better to give than receive. And I don't want to get too religious or anything, but everyone has their seasons. So in the sense that if you give, you eventually get gonna get something in return.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you gotta do deep down from your heart, and give, and especially if they're your family members.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Cause there's a lot of people, bro, that they just send them to that senior living home and forget about it.
And see, this is so now. This is my point of view, and like what bothered me about that video, and I do say bothered me because it did bother me, because let's put it this way, okay? Not everybody's born into a wealthy family or rich family, and not everybody's born with both parents have growing up. Not everybody has both parents making over 100K, so. For example, me growing up, not only having my mother, she pretty much gave almost every time of her pretty much young life to work to support me and my 4 brothers, and she never stopped doing it, She never asked for anything back, she never asked for anything. She just did what she had to do. She had to make sure she had put food on the table, and she had money to pay the rent and the bills. So now, the reason that bothers me about the post was just because of the fact that parents, like my mom, she gave everything, so she never had enough money to say, I'm gonna put for my trust fund, or I'm gonna put for my retirement, or I'm gonna put for this. She gave pretty much all her life for me to have a better life, to earn a better earning, to have a better. So since she gave her life to make sure that I had everything, then what's more than I could do to repay her, for her, to repay her, to make sure that when she can't do it, then I could help her out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and let's forget about sending money to, of course, because I don't do anything like that. But mainly that, if you actually have your mother or your father or both of them actually helped you out for you to have a better career, you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm already making 300K. Forget you. You find your way to live. Let's go. No. So, and technically, it's not about always doing all this. It's not always about I have to support them. That's my duty. No, it's actually you're just helping back them up because they can't do it no more. So you should do the same thing for them, just how they did it for you. Of course, we didn't choose to be here. They did their thing, and that's why we're here. But at the end of the day, we're here, and at the end, that's our parents who always say if there's one plate on the table, who always say here, eat this and wouldn't eat. Our parents will give everything they they have for us, just how I'll give everything for my kids. I wouldn't need, if I only had, one piece of bread, I'll make sure that they eat first before anything. So that's what I'm saying, and of course I don't expect my kids to support me. That's why I'm trying to do my best to make sure that when I get there. But my mom never had that luxury to say, oh, I'm gonna do my best, or my kids, don't have to support me later. She didn't have the luxury to say that. She had to say, I had to do this, I gotta do this for them to live a better life and they have a better openings later on in the future when they grow up. So that's the reason that I find it disturbing that some people don't even get it, or some people think that they're forced. You're not forced to support your parents. You're not forced to support your family. But I feel it's not your duty neither. But I think it's the best thing to do. Yeah. Because if your parents gave up a lot for you, then you should be able to give a little bit, because, I'm pretty sure I'm making 5, 6 times than what my mom made back then. So as I'm saying, it's not always about, oh, I'm forced to support you. No. If you don't want to support her, don't support her. But like they say, everything you throw out in the universe always comes back to you. So what goes around comes around. So when you have your kids and they're older and they say, oh, you know what, I'm going to throw you into elderly home, goodbye. Then don't cry about it.
Unfortunately, that happens. Unfortunately, that kind of thing, you'll pay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, damn. And sometimes, like, some parents say, hey, like, don't do this, do that, because, it may come back to you, and then,
And we actually learn the hard way, because I learned the hard way. A lot of people learn the hard way that sometimes what goes around comes around. There's never any cycle, But, yeah, that was one thing that I want to say, I pretty much don't want to talk too much about that.
And, I guess we can say, changing subject, but still, keeping it, in the, I guess, Latino, Mexican community. What do you think? Because I've seen a lot of TikTok, I don't know to call them creators, because most of the thing they do is just talk shit, you know what I mean? But you always see beef, I've seen a few videos of people from Guatemala or Honduras, even some Mexican people, talking about, making other races feel less, and I don't know, what do you think about that? And
well, there's one thing that I've seen is actually recently I saw it actually on TikTok. This guy from Honduras, right? So he talks a lot of shit, don't get me wrong, like he's talking shit on Mexicans, but what's the worst part about it is that he throws the S at the end. Mexicans. You get me? So he talks plural, you get me? Instead of him like saying, oh, you know what, these fuckers, because I guess I saw that he grabbed like, he was talking about how a guy posted up on his page, oh, like Mexico was the one that gave you to eat before you got here, Stuff like that, because, they have to cross to Mexico. Or stuff like that. So then he grabbed a turkey. He said, oh, he put in the Mexican flag and said, oh, you know what, instead of Lego, it should be a turkey. This is a thing that's feeding me, since you guys fed me, you guys are feeding me your ego. And that's when, you go back to one of our episodes, that's something I talked about. Being disrespectful when, it came to music. Some people saying and talking like that. But this is actually something more personal when you talk more about the flag. Because this guy's not only talking about Mexicans, he's disrespecting the flag, which represents all of us. And not only that, but, instead of him saying, oh, this fucker so-and-so that, let's name him, let's say, Carlos. Oh, this fucking Carlos, fucker starts talking shit and then go after him. But no, he says Mexicans. And then there's a whole bunch of Mexicans that see this. And they say, hey, you know what, fuck Honduras, you guys are bitches and shit like that. So then it becomes a bigger fight. Because then Mexicans are defending, are disrespecting the Hondureños. And then there's Hondureños that get along with Mexicans or don't have beef or anything like that, and they start reading all this shit and saying fuck, like this was our dissing us, this was doing this. So it makes it harder, because then it becomes from one person to one person, it becomes to a lot, and everybody jumping in. So those are things that I'm saying. Like, this is one of the reasons why I hate social media, is because of the fact that Mexicans and this shit's going on. Then instead of two people beefing it with each other, they bring a whole, nationwide, and a whole, Mexicans and Hondureños. So now they both are beefing it. Now there's dedication talking about Mexicans. But something I do see about some Mexicans, they say, oh, this, fucking Hondureño, which is only him though, But now I see a lot of TikTokers talking about, oh, I'm gonna wipe my ass with your flag, I'm gonna respect your flag. And even this guy started disrespecting the flag by saying like, oh, I bought this flag for $5, but I took it out on my channel, so now it's worth 15,000. Then you don't make the Mexican flag worth that much, because actually it's even worth more than what you actually think, and it's not. And I find that disrespectful. So those are things that I say, for all these, back to my old episode, that I say, for all these Chicanos that talked about, when Blueface, did this and Blueface did that, and Tekashi and all this. This is something they should be finding disrespectful. Don't find those small things disrespectful. Find this disrespectful, because this is what this is disrespecting all nation and every single person in Mexico. The whole flag is what thing that represents us, and that's something they shouldn't be tolerating.
And you know what, bro? And even that website I talked about last time. I'm not gonna give it too much publicity, but there's this content on Instagram. A lot of people know, a lot of Mexicans, Latinos, Chicanos know about this Instagram handle. I'm not gonna mention their names, but anyways, in the last episode I mentioned about Peso. Yeah. But there's other rapper I didn't really look into. That is called Peso with the Y. Yeah. Right. So there was there was a video. Well, I just saw part of it, but there was a video on TikTok that actually it was from a YouTube video from Adam22, and he was basically talking about they had asked him that question. Hey, what do you think about this organization, right? On Instagram, right? What do you think about them, or and he basically said what a lot of people, I'm saying a lot because there's a lot of people that will agree with him. I agree with them, because that actually was my view, that instead of making the raza look better, they're actually making it worse, because they're basically just making fun of people, bro. Yeah. In other words, bro, I see people people following their dreams, following their music, right? And then these people are making fun of them, what I mean, in the sense that instead of helping them out, they're having the whole raza making fun of them. So anyways, I'm just saying that sometimes even our own people are to blame for this kind of things.
They do let small things that are really not that important make it into a big deal, and things like this, like I say, if there's things that are really, really important, they don't let them make it a big deal, and I don't see nobody talking about it. And of course I know they can say, oh, it's these TikTokers are smaller than Blueface, or smaller than Tekashi, but at the end of the day, they are dissing us. That this is a diss, doesn't matter if it comes from your neighbor that only 5 people are hearing them, or this from somebody that has millions and millions of viewers. This is a diss no matter what. So that's what I want to talk about, that people shouldn't be tolerating this, and I don't think they should be doing saying shit back, but people should talk about this. People should say, hey, you know what, this is not tolerant, we shouldn't tolerate this. We shouldn't be beefing it with each other, because at the end of the day we all have the same goal. So he came from Honduras, we came from Mexico. He came to have a better life here, we came to have a better life. So
and for the most part, it's just things on the internet, or when it comes to sports, like soccer, or things on the internet. But for the most part, here in Cali, right? You see Salvadorians, people from Guatemala, from Honduras. Honestly, I mean, not to be like any type of racist or anything like that. But I'm just trying to see them. You just see them like any other Latino. You know what I mean? You don't know like, hey, they're Hondureños or Salvadoran or where they're from, unless they speak. Sometimes you can hear their accent and whatnot. But in reality, man, it's like whatever. You know what I mean? And in high school, I think I don't know if it was actually it was a little bit after high school. I hang out with a couple Salvadorian dudes. I think we didn't hang out for a good minute, no?
Yeah, but you were hanging out with some fool that I don't like and shit. He's from Honduras and shit.
But
well, it's not that I didn't like him, but he did.
No, there was some other dude.
He did some shady shit he should never done, but.
This one was some Salvadoreños I used to kick it with, and they're pretty cool dudes. Not the dude that you're talking, but there's another one. And at the end of the day, man, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, like I said, we all have the same goal, and it's not even to say bad about that guy because that's long time, like I ain't trying to be with nobody. I'm old, I don't have time for this shit, so I just want to throw out there though. But yeah, those are things that I do like to say, that if you really want to talk about stuff, this is something we should be talking about. And if you guys really out there, whoever's looking at this, if you guys really feel bad or it hurt you because all these other rappers say this shit, this part should hurt you more, and you guys should speak about it more and say, hey, you know what, like, stop this shit, like, we all have the same goal. So those are things that I want to say, but it is what it is. This is TikTok. This is the new era of everything, so everybody has a voice pretty much, and some people have a lot of followers, and a lot of people do follow their voices, and they do believe it. And don't get me wrong,
a lot of people are comedians. I mean, not I'm just saying, a lot of people are not really that funny, but I'm just trying to say that. But
other than that, we are well, my son's counting down, so we're 23 days away from Christmas.
23 days already?
Yeah.
Damn, the year's almost gone, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if anybody has traditions out there, but I think there's actually a tradition we started this year. Of course, it's a little bit late, but I know a lot of people do it. It's the Elf on the Shelf for my son. He's 8 years old. He still believes in Santa. So that's the tradition I have. I have bought him an Elf on the Shelf. He's doing pretty well. So I forgot we had kids around, but
and
so
the thing I actually I'm looking for this Christmas was the food, bro, and I started a diet.
Chato.
But I'm gonna be honest, I stopped like in the third day. But I'm still gonna keep going. I've actually found a little bakery close by where they sell keto stuff. Mm-hmm. They have cookies, bread. I think they even have like pretzels, pizza, coffee.
Okay, well,
most of it's like 6 carbs.
Well, okay, we'll talk about that keto shit, yeah. But there's another tradition that I want to start off with my kids. It's actually, right now we're looking into buying our own home, and when we do get it, the tradition I want to start off is, on a yearly basis, we all buy a ornament, our own ornament, whatever we like. So we're thinking about actually starting out with a plain Christmas tree. No, nothing. Our first ornament will be that'll be our first decorations, and just go off of there, pretty much every year add 5, which we are 5. Of course, maybe add like the star on top, but that's something I want to do. So maybe 5-6 years from now, let's say 6 years from now, 5 times 6 is 30, so we'll have 30 decorations up in the tree. Those are things that I always wanted to do. I thought it was interesting. I haven't seen it nowhere. It was just something I thought about. So like that, when we're all older, maybe when we pass away, something like that, maybe our kids could continue the tradition whenever they have their kids or anything like that. Maybe 34 years from now, if the world's still around, they probably have a Christmas tree full of ornaments, and it'll be just decoration of that. You know, so that's a tradition I want to start. Anybody could take it. I'm just throwing it out there. You know, I thought it was something crazy that I thought about. You know, so that's something that we want to start, and you know, that's the tradition I want to start, kind of. And another tradition that I wanted to do, if everything goes good, even with our podcast and everything, is actually I'm trying to teach my kids this is actually giving back. You know, because it's not like you said earlier, it's not always about receiving. It's about always giving back. So my wife and I right now are looking into where to donate. You know, and we're not talking about one toy, two toys. You know, we're talking about told our kids that we wanna maybe instead of giving them everything they want, maybe, you know, my older kids, we told them that maybe like 60% of whatever we're gonna waste on their gifts, with 60% of their gifts will probably be like around 300 or 400. Buy gifts for other kids that actually don't have that you know, that family that could give them what they want, you know, or could enjoy a toy.
Yeah.
At least, so those are things that we've been wanting to do since last year. We didn't get a chance to do it.
Do you know if the Boys and Girls Club still does it? I remember back in the day when I was young, they used to do it.
But you know, I actually want to look into somewhere where people actually do need it. It's not greedy, you know, because
some people were just like, hey, you know, they're giving free stuff, let's go.
there was a saying that they were saying that the food drives is like it said, you know, the food drives are not for the needy or the greedy, for the necessity or something like that. For the people who actually do need it. So those are things for the things that we want to do. So, you know, if anybody, you know, knows any traditions that you guys been doing with your families, you know, let us know. We would like to know about it. You know, it's pretty crazy to do a tradition with the family because we never know how long we're gonna have each other, and you know, and sometimes it's better to do it and move on from there. And you know, sometimes it's always to have memories. Memories live forever, you know. So, do you have any traditions you're thinking about?
Don't have any traditions. I mean, for the most part, my whole thing is now be with the family during the holidays. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, I think, well, now you know, I guess, you know, as I get older, as, you know, as we grow, as I grow, I, you know, keep changing the way I think. And for the most part, I feel that, you know, it's always best to, you know, spend, you know, if you have your family, spend more time with them. Because, you, like you said, you never know.
Yeah.
You know, next time everything can change. And, you know, before my older job, I used to work, bro, almost all the holidays.
Yeah.
I was stuck at work. You know what I mean? And you know, now, you know, my whole thing is be available.
Yeah.
You know, make sure I'm not doing any other things during the holidays, and, you know, make sure I spend them with my family. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have any traditions, but I've been thinking actually that you know, when you brought it up, I had been thinking, you know, the past few days, you know, something. I actually was thinking of, like, you know, going to Disney for the month of December and keep it a tradition, you know, so my kids can remember, you know, when I get older and when they have their own kids, like, hey, you know, my dad, my mom used to bring me to Disney, and, you know, and right now it's really hard to get what's it called, reservation Disney. Yeah, I was supposed to go like a couple weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I'm actually heading down there, like I think on the 17th. I was able to find, you know, something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's, you know, that's the only thing I've thought about doing, you know, trying to keep a tradition going.
Yeah, those are things that we I said you know, because I said, you know, I really want to start off something like that now, especially, you know, like he says, things change, you know. So let us know if you guys have any traditions you guys follow, anything like that. So well, going back to the food thing, you know, this guy says he's been on a diet. Now, don't get me wrong, this is the second time we do eat empanadas, and I did eat 2 in a bread. But something I am doing myself, and then we will post up, because we do have the same scale. It's called Renfo.
Renfo.
You know, if anybody knows, check it out, or, you know, I'll probably post up the link below. Renfo, or, you know, he told me about it. It's a scale that reads your BMI, you know, your body your protein, your skeleton muscle.
I think even water index.
Yeah. So everything.
I told you about it. What was it, like 2 years ago? 3?
Yeah.
2? Yeah.
So
pretty cool.
I started using it, and those are things that. And don't get me wrong, it goes up and down. Okay, so yeah, so the Renfo scale. So we will be posting up since we did start it off since last week. We will be posting up the pictures of my BMI and all that, everything I have, and then his, and I'll post up who's, and then most likely we'll probably be doing it once a month. Then we started with the 22nd or 23rd of it. Well, supposedly we started, but I will post it up, and so I know we won't be able to do it this 22nd. So most likely on January, the first or second week when we do it, we will we will keep posting up the second part, and we will talk about it, how are we doing and everything like that. So talking about earlier, actually, they talked about keto. I do like that one. I do like keto, don't get me wrong, but something I did learn about keto, and I don't know if you know this, that how it says net carbs, that you shouldn't be looking at those. You're supposed to be looking at actual carbs at the end. So like, I know net carbs is at the end, but as you know how sometimes you eat, like, let's say a cookie, it says 15 grams of carbs, and then it says but 3 grams of net carb. No, it's actually those 15 grams of.
Wow.
That's what I saw, and that's what I read. Well, I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, So to say a little bit of what I'm doing personally, I'm actually capable of eating what I want. And when I say what I want, I just don't do anything I don't need. It's sugar. Sugar, I deleted sugar off my diet. I don't need sugar. I don't need carbs. I do eat a little bit of it. Like right now, that's what I ate. I try to take away all the bread out of my eating. I try to take away all the sugar out of my eating. So I don't eat nothing with sugar, So that's something you guys gotta think of, because sometimes it's hard to eat or force yourself not to eat something. Like, let's say in keto you can eat bread, but sometimes you start craving bread, and you have to go to those keto stores, which they sell like 3 pieces of bread for like $60. But those are things that I don't do it. So what I do is I check my macros. I eat high protein, medium carbs, or actually low carbs, should I say, and low fat. But my thing that I do eat is a lot of protein, and like my carbs, I usually try to keep it under 50 to probably the 80 of the grams of carbs throughout the day, probably even less. But I only eat twice a day, and sometimes I only eat once a day because I start fasting. So that's what I do. We'll see. He's doing keto, or I think he's doing keto, or I think he's on diet, which most likely he ain't. But so most likely when we see his results, they might be up. But
we'll see. Who prevails.
Yeah, we'll see who's showing improvement and stuff like that. But those are things that we're doing, and if you guys have any comments or want to know how everything's going even before, let us know. You guys could always message us on our Instagram. We both of us are there, so we could reply. Or you guys just want to talk to us, you guys could add us on our own personal. We'll be adding it on every description of our YouTube videos from now on. We are getting the hang of it. So, like I said, you guys want to speak to both of us or one of us, and then about it, we will see how it goes, with our diet.
Yeah, so every week we're gonna update you guys with I guess our how much we've lost weight or whatnot. But changing the subject, I think also every week we're gonna start giving you guys different quotes. We talked about it. I think every week we'll 1 week it'll be him, 1 week it'll be myself, but this week it'll be his quote, and we'll talk about a little bit about what we feel about the quote. What do you got for us today, bro?
Well, technically, it's not a quote, but it was just something that I saw, and it was because I was having this argument. Well, not argument, but this discussion with one of my coworkers, and this is something even I could ask him. Is money everything? You know.
That's a good question.
So, what do you think?
I don't know if it's everything, but
Or actually, not everything, but does money make you happy? That was actually what we're talking about.
okay. All right, so it's one of those things. It's hard to say, but would you rather be broke and unhappy, or rich and unhappy? I don't know.
But see, and this is where the saying goes, you know. It was something that I was looking at, you know, and it came out on TikTok, and they asked somebody else, does money make you happy? And this lady, she's pretty old, and she said, you know what? Somebody told me this once. Money makes you, what is it? How did she say it? Money lets you enjoy the rest of your five senses, which is like taste, smell.
That's true.
You know, so stuff like that. You know, and when I was saying money does make you happy. Money makes everything happy. You know, the main reason is because I say this. Money, you know, if you have money, you know, like you said, money. If you could have a lot of money and not be happy. But I don't understand why you won't be happy. If you have money, you know, let's say you have family, but you're rich, right? You have enough time to spend with your family. You have money to spend with your family. You can do everything with your family that you want. And what's the one poor man's thing that they don't have is time. I have a lot of coworkers that have 2 jobs. They say I don't have time with my family. I ask them, why don't you take your vacation? Oh, because I don't have time with my family, and I can't because I need 2 jobs. I need to ask permission here and here, and both of them won't let me. Either one of them says yes, or the one says no. So that's what I say. I think money does make you happy, because it lets you enjoy the rest of your 5 senses, like the lady says, you know, and it's true, you know. So that's what I say. Does money make you happy? Yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it that way, I mean, it does. I mean, there's a lot of people, you know, that I know. I mean, even myself, I don't consider myself, you know, wealthy or rich or anything. But, I mean, there's so many things, dude, that, you know, especially in the Hispanic community. Work. And sometimes they don't even work smart. And I'm going to say they don't work smart just because, you know, we Mexicans, Latinos work really, really hard. Really hard. And sometimes they don't even think of, you know, their future. I mean, they only think of the moment. But, you know, if you really, you know, want to work smart, you know, you gotta do other things and not work yourself to death, basically. Or, you know, work yourself, you know, until you like, what, 60, 70, and you can't work, and, you know, you're just basically, you know, buying your medicine. You're broke just buying your own medicine, you know, to, you know, keep your health in check. And that's what, like I said, bro, there's a lot of people in the Hispanic community, you know, that, you know, rather work, you know, especially in the fields and, you know, construction and all those hard jobs, bro, that you're like, hey, you know, I'm working hard, but, you know, we gotta work smarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I say, like, I know a lot of people might have it, and then even there was one thing that I said that I forgot who said it. He says, oh, only broke people say money doesn't make you happy. And which is true. You really look at it that way, you know. You as Drake, you all these, you know, all these rich people, you know, they say yes. Because of the money, they have what they have, you know. They have time for their family. They could go for months for vacation with their kids, and everything should be fine. They could come back without worrying about bills. We go vacation, we come back worrying about bills. Well, you know, unfortunately, you know, I have the luxury of not worrying about that. But I do decide to pay everything out before I go on vacation. I do have the luxury of taking 4 or 5 vacations a year. So that's what I say, you know, you know, for a lot of people that don't know, or a lot of people that think money is not everything, money is everything. Even if you could see it as in like, oh, different ways that, oh, because money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does. What makes you happy? Your family, time. You know, buying a car makes you happy. Being able to pay your bills makes you happy. And what do you need then? It's money. You know, of course they say, oh, you know, you can't buy your health. You know, of course you can't buy your health, but you could buy, you know, healthy food that keeps you healthy. You know, stuff like that. So that's why I say that was. It's not technically a quote, but it was a life lesson that I learned that day when I was talking about somebody and said, oh, you know what? So when I heard it, it says, you know, and I'm not 100% sure that's how it said it, but she said it. Money lets you enjoy your other five senses, and which is true, you know. So that's what I gotta think about that. So, you know, wrapping up this episode.
Yeah.
So till next time, you know, peace. You know, we'll keep you guys posted. You know, next time we have different type of foods. Not that bad though, but.
We'll see you guys next time. Yeah.
And I'm not selling them no shoes, don't worry.